right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday gathering, each and every week gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy. Gosh, guys, we've been doing this for, I think, like in a couple of weeks, it's going to be 2 years. Continuing to be with us. We have a special guest today. We have Karen Davis with us today, who we're going to get to in just a bit. But you guys, nobody's not going to know who she is. So it was funny. I was talking to Christina. I was like, I've never met her. And then I was like, oh, of course I know who Karen is. You guys will recognize her music. We play it often. And so we're looking forward to that. But let's check in real quick with everyone. Let's say hello, Ma. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. Happy to be here and have my voice back so I can speak.
That's awesome. Thanks for being here. And of course, Alejandro with his cool hat. How are you, Alejandro?
Hello, how everyone? I'm happy to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Let's go to Howard.
Hello, everybody. I'm really pleased to be here and good to see everybody.
It's good to see you always. I was having breakfast with my wife yesterday, and I was talking about how Jane Goodall is going to be in Seattle, and I was saying, but I really want to go for March 11th, and then she's Tammy, if you guys know her, she's like, do it all. You should do it all, and you should meet your idols. And I was thinking how cool it is that I get to hang out with my idol Howard every single week, literally. And so we had this whole discussion about how you've just been so instrumental and inspiring. And so I don't want to let that go just because we get to hang out every week. I don't want to bypass the fact that it is really cool for me, Howard, to be able to be in relationship with you. So
that's so kind. Thank you. I just try to relay what I know.
Well, you do it in a really inspiring way. So thank you. Deborah, let's go over to you. Yep, you're muted.
Okay, I thought you were going to control it. Hi, guys. This is the most human faces I've seen in a week and a half. I've been pretty isolated for a little bit, not feeling well. So, Karen, so great to see your beautiful face here. You truly are a dam buster woman. I love you.
Well, thank you. I'm so inspired by all of you, and it's an honor to be here.
Let's go over to my Wi-Fi's been a little weird, so I thought maybe it'd help if I take this off. Let's check in with Marcia and Q.
Yeah, I got Q here with me today. His first time.
Oops, let me see what we got you muted. Try again.
Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me? It's good to be here. It's good to meet you, Karen, and I've heard your music and I love it. Also, Howard, you are my idol too, so there you go. And it's great to be here. We're happily supporting the reaching of those dams far away in Florida and doing our work and sending stuff and trying to get this whole thing going. So happy to help.
Awesome. Q, anything you want to say?
I think she's covered most of it. We'll go with her. She's a better speaker than I am.
Well, we love Q, so we're very happy that you're here. Who have I missed? Deb Cruz.
Oops.
Deb Cruz?
You're muted.
It says I can't unmute you.
Chaos reigns! Woohoo! Okay.
Deb, your laugh is all we need.
That's so awesome. My daughter does lashes, so I just want to say it. So she did my lashes last night, and she says, "Whatever you do, you can't cry for 24 hours." And I just got a little weepy in honoring Howard, and now I know why, because my eyes started burning. So don't make me cry anymore on this show today. Okay, good. Well, let's get over to Karen. Karen, just to give you.
Uh-oh.
She froze.
Okay, go ahead, Karen. Oh.
I didn't hear your question. You froze up a little bit there.
Nope, she's gone.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about why I love the Southern Residents so much while we're waiting for Annette to come back. I moved to Seattle right after I graduated from college, and I was drawn to the water. I had to get out on that water, so I rented a kayak with a friend, and we drove over to San Juan Island and put our kayaks in the water, knowing absolutely nothing. And it was a foggy day. It was midweek. There was no one out there. And I'm paddling along, and I hear this right next to me. And it just like about jumped out of my skin. And it was an orca. And it ended up being this incredible day of being surrounded by a pod of orca in my little kayak and getting to see all their behaviors, the spy hops and the breaches and the tail slaps. And just, it was the most transformative experience of my life. And I was forever changed by that. And I came home and had to learn everything I could about them. And I just fell in love with them. And I made that pilgrimage every year up to San Juan Island. And every year they were there. They were residents. They were there. And it was so magical. And I turned all my friends and family onto it. I'd bring my siblings and my soon to be husband and just relished that experience that I thought was once in a lifetime, but we got to have every year. And then I got busy with life and had children and wasn't able to make it up there. And kind of my focus turned away from the Southern Residents. And I wasn't really aware of their plight until TokiTV's Tour of Grief in 2017 or 2018. And that rocked my world. I was so devastated by that. And I just couldn't believe how I had not noticed what was happening to them because I was so engrossed in my own life. And it really spun me into a deep depression. I felt like the whole world had shifted, and something that I loved so deeply was going extinct. And I couldn't wrap my mind around it. And I just decided that the only way I could get myself out of that depression was to do something. I just had to do something. And I didn't know what that was, but I just had to get involved. And I knew that if I do everything I can, then I know that if they go extinct, I will be able to look myself in the mirror and say, I did everything I could. And so that is what has propelled me to this moment. I immersed myself in learning about what is the problem, why are they going extinct, what can we do about it, and that's why I'm here today. It's all about them. I'm actually an introvert. I don't love public speaking or even public singing, but it's not about me. It's about them, and I have a voice, and I have to use it. I feel like, TokiTV was so amazing in how she was able to communicate her grief to the world. Even though she lives under the water and doesn't speak our language, she communicated her grief incredibly eloquently. And I figure, okay, if she can do it, so can I. I need to use my voice. And so that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. And you do it so well, Karen. I'll play some clips of your music here in a little bit, but when you say like you had to do something, tell us about the banner that you had coordinated. And I think you had for a year, right? Every weekend you had. Is that correct?
I started teaming up with a group called the Backbone Campaign, and they are literally just two people and a warehouse on Vashon Island nearby here. And they make these banners with a group of volunteers, and they ship them all over the country for all different uses and different topics and different things that are, happening in the world that we need a voice for. And they're very involved in this issue with the dams and the tribes and the salmon. And so they provided me with a banner, and I decided in 2022 that I was going to go take that banner on the overpass of I-5 every week, once a week for the whole year. That was my goal. And I started in January with a group of family and a couple of friends who knew how passionate I was and who were equally passionate about this. and we would just go out there for an hour at rush hour with the banner. And it was really interesting to see the change in people's reaction over the course of the year, doing that every week. You know, you can see all the motorists there. We got a lot of eyeballs on that banner. We figured I would count cars. It averaged about 100 cars a minute. And so that in an hour, that's 6,000 cars. That's at least that many people, if not more, every week, 6,000 to 9,000 to 12,000 people seeing that banner. And at first people were sort of like, just, they would look at it and they'd, you know, go by. And then by, you know, halfway through the year, we wouldn't even have the thing all the way unfurled, and we'd be getting honks and waves and fist pumps and hearts, and, you know, just the outpouring of support from motorists was incredible, and that really kept us going. It was such a joy to get out there. I always felt like sometimes I didn't feel like going out there. It was raining, it was, you know, whatever, but it always rose. It just buoyed my spirit because it was so wonderful to feel like people really got it and they understood it and they were on my side. I think activism can be a really lonely endeavor, and sometimes it feels like you're kind of speaking to a void. You don't know that anybody's listening, but that was a way to really see that these efforts were making a difference and that people were starting to pay attention, and it was really gratifying.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, that's huge, Karen. That's like that many cars every single week. You know, we're always talking about, it feels weird that you guys can't see me, but I hope it's not weird for you. We're always talking about how everyone's got these gifts, you know, just and ideas, and that's a huge one. That's a huge one. And I know you're doing more things, which we'll get to in a little bit, but I do want to talk a little bit about, because what I was trying to do a while ago was read, you know, kind of your bio, because your background's in environmental education. So this has been near and dear to you all, you know, forever. And, you know, your passion for the Salish Sea and for the orcas it's huge. It's huge, and it shows. And we've had another musician on here before who, same kind of thing, you know, just using your gifts, your talent. So I just want to thank you and acknowledge that. There's a song, and I have a video clip of it that I want to show. It's in the rain, so you guys will have to deal with hearing rain in the background. But do you want to tell us about this song before I play it? Because it was inspired by someone we know. Do you mind to tell us about that, Karen?
Sorry, I thought you were going to play it. Yeah. Well, this was right after I started getting involved in the issue, right after TokiTV's Tour of Grief in 2018. And there was an event happening at the Capitol in Olympia, a rally around the orcas and celebrating them and wanting to breach the dams. And so I attended that, and I was standing, we all got to hold a cutout of an orca of one of the southern residents. I was standing there behind the speaker's podium, and Howard Garrett got up to speak, and I didn't know who Howard was. I was really new to this whole issue, and he gave this speech that just was it so impacted me. And his refrain, he kept saying what was happening, and then he would say, "That is BS. No more BS." And the whole, you know, stadium would echo that with him. And it was just like, yes, there's so much happening that we just need to call out. This is just ridiculous, and got to make changes. And it is such BS. And just while I was standing there, these words just came to mind. I had actually never written a song before, and that song just wrote itself on those steps that day. And I came home and jotted down the words and put it to a tune, and I put it on Facebook. I think I just posted on Facebook, and it went a little bit viral. I was kind of amazed, and that was sort of what got me connected with everyone. It got me connected with Howard and people like Deborah Ellers, who's an amazing orca advocate. I think you've had her on this show before. And so it sort of connected me with the community of people that are really active and trying to speak out against what's happening to our environment and to the southern residents. So I was grateful to that. I think that music can be especially impactful because it's one thing to sit and listen to somebody talk for 3 minutes, but people are going to sit and listen to a song for 3 minutes. That's easy. That's actually enjoyable a lot of times. And you can impart a lot of information in a song, and you can make it funny and entertaining. And so I think it's a really great way to disseminate information and get a message out. So
this is a powerful message. There's no doubt why it went viral, and I think we should make it go viral again. Let's listen to BS, guys.
Frozen, so we'll see what happens. They said it never happened. They said it could not be done to take away the dams we've built and let the rivers run. But they got the Elwha flowing and its ecosystems growing. It's time to free the snake, no more BS. So BS to your task forces, BS to your committees, BS to endless meetings and all their nitty-gritties, BS to the corruption and riparian disruption. If you don't free the snake, we call BS. Maybe we should form a task force to decide on your next meal. Is that the only way to show you how the orcas feel? We won't sit idly by and watch our ecosystems die. It's time you did your job, cut the BS. So BS to your task forces and BS to your committees, BS to endless meetings and all their nitty-gritties, BS to the corruption and riparian disruption. If you don't free the snake, we call BS. You wanted to be president, but couldn't keep your base. So all your aspirations, they flew up in your face. We could have been your allies to get you through that race, but you wouldn't stop all the BS. So BS to your task forces and BS to your committees, BS to endless meetings and all their nitty-gritties, BS to the corruption and riparian disruption. If you don't free the snake, we call BS. It's time you did your job, cut the BS. We've waited far too long, no more BS. BS! BS, thank you.
That's so awesome.
I love it.
Brilliant.
Isn't that great? That's just so awesome. Hey, sorry,
Brilliant.
someone said that the stream was frozen. I'm watching it. It's not frozen now, but it was a little while ago. So I apologize for that. We will post that. Is it okay that I post that?
Yeah, please. That's what it's all about. Spread it far and wide. Yeah.
Let's make that go viral again. I love it. It's a catchy tune. It's
Very catchy.
Well, nothing rankles me more than politicians who make it look like they're doing something and they're not. And that was so frustrating with the Orca Task Force. I called it the Orca Task Farce, because it's like, it's not really doing anything meaningful. And yet people get complacent, because I remember talking to people about it. It's like, well, isn't Inslee taking care of that? Like, no, he's not taking care of that. He's not doing anything that actually will help the salmon and the orca. It's looking busy and pushing papers and placating people, but not real meaningful action. So. Yeah.
There's so many songs, because I have one that I want to play at the end, but now I'm like, I kind of want to end the show with that too, because it's just so catchy. I just totally love it. Howard, just want to check in with you, because we're all sitting there cracking up. Anything you want to say about the song or the message?
Well, I'm just loving the song, and that we're playing it for everybody, and we're going to make it go viral all over again. And I was thinking when you were telling your story, Karen, that it's just a beautiful story of relating to the orcas as family members, as loved ones. I mean, you really felt what they were going through, what TokiTV especially was going through. And to me, that is in the spirit of the meaning of the word Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's, which is the Salish, coastal Salish word for orca, our relations who live under the waves. I mean, you said it directly. Even though they live under the water, they're like, you've gotten to love them, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I also wanted to say that my brother Ken, I'm sure he loved your song. I'm sure he heard it and sang along with it and felt every word of it. He was in that task force, and he came away with pretty much the same feeling about it. He said very often The orcas can't eat words. You know, they can't. I bet they enjoy a song, but they mostly enjoy a salmon, and that's what they really need. So, PS to your task forces and committees, indeed.
Well,
Yeah, yes to the whole 8 years. That's why we have to keep it on the front lines. Your music going viral. We got to make sure that happens because it's powerful.
Thank you.
The orcas can't eat words. I love that, Howard.
Yeah.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So Karen, we have other songs and we have other things, but what I was really struck by what kind of the new thing that you're doing with the projection. So I'm going to show some pictures, but can you kind of just, tell us where this idea came from and how you got going with that?
Yeah, this is another gift from the Backbone campaign. They that's right under the Seattle Convention Center. We have some pictures of that from afar. My husband went and walked across the freeway and took some photos, and it was so awesome. You could see that all the way down I-5 at rush hour. And I'll have to say, there we go. The convention center staff was not too pleased with us. They came out with badges and clipboards and walkie-talkies, and they were like trying to get us to shut this down. They said, "You can't have a sign on our building." I said, We don't have a sign on your building. We're not touching your building. And we were across the street, and they just knew we had to be doing something wrong. They couldn't figure out what. But anyway, this is actually protected free speech. We can do this anywhere we want, pretty much. I think there are some rules around federal buildings, government buildings, but this is a Backbone campaign tool that they have. It's just stage lights and a projector and a generator to power the light. And then they have these little laser cut metal templates that have the words. And so we slide it in. It's like changing a slideshow. We can change the message as often as we want. So I'll come out on a night with maybe 4 or 5 different messages and just project them all. This was on Aurora heading down into town. So we're doing this time of year because it's dark during rush hour and we can't do the banner. So we're bringing the projection out so that people can see this. So this looks like it's really late at night, but it's really like 5 o'clock in the evening. There was an event at Town Hall that was done by the Sierra Club and Save Our Wild Salmon and other organizations like that. And so we came and did our projections on the building while they were having the event. And generally, people are really they're really appreciative of it. Like they think it's really great. Even people who own the buildings, like, our message is quite peaceful and hopeful. I don't think that I guess there are some people that could take issue with that, but most of the people around here wouldn't. So it was just the convention center that wasn't so happy with us.
I love that what you said though, is you guys had the banner and that's reaching a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not even like the time change can stop you. Like that's just awesome. Like, okay, so it's getting darker now, but we're still going to get this message out. And you found a way to do that. And I just absolutely love that. I think that is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. My husband, I've kind of dragged him along on some of these things. He's, he really appreciates what I'm doing, but it's not his passion like it is mine. And the first one we ever did was the convention center. And that was the only time that anybody's ever come out and talked to us with, with not being very happy with us. And after they left, he said, "I kind of like this. I feel like such a scoundrel." But it's fun. It's kind of like, guerrilla activism. It's like, it's so peaceful. It's leaving no trace. It's a light. I'm shining a light on a building. And it's really, it's very impactful though. You can see it from, a long way away. And we get a lot of feedback on it. And it's really fun. If anybody lives in the area, I have a group of people that I send an email to anytime that we're about to do an action. We're going to do one tomorrow. I have kind of blank wall vision now. Every time I drive around, I'm looking for good blank walls that I could project on. And we found a good one down by the stadiums here in South Seattle. So we're going to do one down in South Seattle tomorrow at rush hour. So if anybody lives in the area and wants to get in touch with me, you're welcome to join us. And I'll put you on my mailing list, and just kind of keeping people up to speed with what other actions are happening, and if there's need for, writing letters or whatever's happening in this arena. So feel free to share.
Karen, should they should they just reach out to you on Messenger or on Facebook? Or?
Yeah, that'd be great. However they're listening to me, hopefully they have Messenger. I know there's a YouTube link too, and I don't know if I have my contact info there, but Messenger would be a great way to reach me.
Okay, cool. And what you guys can do also, if you want, is just make a comment on this stream right now that you're watching, and I can make sure and get your info over to Karen. So email Karen. You want their emails? Is that how you prefer?
Sure. Yeah, I do have an email list, so that would be great.
All right, cool. So you guys can get a hold of us if you are not friends with her directly or don't have Messenger. Karen, let's. We're here for Toki. Toki brought us all together, and you have your own relationship with Toki. So I'm going to show some pictures, and you can maybe tie it in with the significance of these photos.
Yeah, I didn't learn about Toki until when I started getting involved in this in 2018. But as soon as I did learn about her, I felt this absolute kinship with her. And partly because we were almost exactly the same age, and also because I have vivid memories of that exact time frame when she was captured. That's me on my 6th birthday. That's August 11th, 1970. And Toki was captured August 8th, 1970. So in this picture, when I'm sitting there with my doll in my comfy house with my loving parents, she was going through hell. And from then on, she continued to endure hell. And I'm going to just read what I wrote about that day, because I think I can do it better that way. Anyway, I said, this is me on my 6th birthday, August 11th, 1970, 3 days after the horrific day of capture in Penn Cove, when Tok'tai and an entire generation of young Southern resident orcas were brutally taken from their families. 5 died in the process, and 7 were sent to marine parks. All would be dead by 1987, except for Tok'tai. Somehow, her spirit kept her going, despite the horrific conditions, the abuse, the intense boredom, the loneliness she endured for 53 years, alone in a concrete cell. I have an intense connection to Toki, partly because of my love for the Southern residents, and partly because she and I were of similar age. She was 4 that day. I had just turned 6. I remember that day vividly, and I think back on all that I've done in my life since then, all the relationships I've made, all the adventures, the experiences I've had, all the happiness, all the opportunities for loving and living that I have had, but she never did. Imagine being taken from your family at 4 years old and put in a prison for 53 years. Why did we force such a cruel existence on such a beautiful sentient being? What did she ever do to deserve that? We decimated her entire family. We stole a generation of orcas, and they have not recovered from that. They cannot recover from that as long as we continue to harm them by starving them to death with our salmon-killing dams. And then I put, please honor her and her lifetime of sacrifice. Let's help us feed her family and ensure a new generation of Southern resident orcas that will live. That's the least we can do. This was in my Facebook post, and then I put info on how to take action and what to do to help save her family from extinction.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would see those drone shots of her in her tank all alone like that, or sometimes with Lee, but it just gutted me. I would cry myself to sleep at night. It was so horrific. I couldn't imagine you know how we all felt during COVID when we were like imprisoned in our houses with so many things to do and our families and enough to eat, and it just the torture that she went through, I just can't even wrap my mind around. I just can't wrap my mind around it. It's just unfathomable. And then to hear stories of how she continued to have such spirit and a sense of humor, and just, oh my God, what an amazing being. And to see that she's, even in death, still bringing us together, she's just remarkable.
Yeah. Thank you. And people are saying, amazing words. She really has brought so many people together. I mean, I am just blessed by the connections in the family and friends that I have. All being brought together through that same love, and so thank you. And we got to keep doing that, right? We got to keep using our voices. We got to keep using our talents. We got to keep coming up with ideas to share and to stop the cruelty of captivity. I mean, as you all know, I don't know if it's pronounced Naya or Naya, but the orca in Russia that lost her calf. That the calf was less than a month old, and she's been in captivity, what, 10 years, Howard, 10, 11 years. And I mean, you got to find your family, like, come on, no more. Just, enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are still finding that energy through all of it to continue to move forward, to continue to fight for, for her family and for others in captivity. I mean, that kind of brings us to March 11th, right? Christina, let's talk about that a little bit, about the event that you have been so just, I just know it's taking up so much of your time and your love, but you're channeling it in a beautiful way. So what do we got coming up?
Well, we just started a GoFundMe for like some of the printing and stuff. So I know that I've been getting some people reaching out to me that have been doing the artwork and sending it to me. I have a couple people even all the way from Germany. Maria Popel, I don't know how to say her last name, sorry.
Is it Popel? Maria, you're awesome.
Yeah, and Ula and somebody, Yvonne, I think, from England. And so, I mean, people from all over the world, they're literally sending me these tangible pictures that they're drawing. So it's like really important that we just keep that going on and keep spreading the word about the event. And if you can't be here, just what these people over in Europe are doing, send us the art, because we will have all of that on exhibit at the rally at the Capitol. And we just have to keep calling and writing the Biden administration, as well as Governor Inslee and Maria Cantwell, oh no, and the new mayor that's running, and I can't remember his name. I'll remember it and put it in the chat. Maybe Deb Cruz knows. What's his face? Sorry, I'm so bad. The guy, the new senator that's running right now. Deb Ellers knows, because she's the one that told me. Maybe she.
Come on, Deb Ellers, put it in the chat. Deb Ellers is always like, she's always.
Because we need to reach out to him, because he's running. So we want to make sure that we just keep all of this, breaching of the dams in the front line, because that's like, we can't let them just, like her song, No More BS, like the whole task farce and all that. It's like 8 to 10 years. We can't wait 8 to 10 years. We have to keep this on the front lines, because a lot of people think, oh yay, they said breach the dams, but that's not really the case. They're talking about breaching the dams in 8 to 10 years. That's like, yeah. So
it's Bob Ferguson is running.
Thank you.
Running for governor. Thank you, Deb Ellers. she's always on the show, even if she's not on the show. So thanks, Deb Hellers.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, reach out to him and just keep doing what we're doing. I mean, it's tiresome and everything, but we just have to keep going. And if you know any teachers that want to get their class involved, or any, church groups or recreation centers or anything like that, but it's not just for kids, it's for everyone. Everyone can do it. And I can't do it by myself, and everyone is helping me. You all are helping me. Every single one of you are helping me on and off the screen, and I really appreciate it. Marcia's been drawing 1 million animals, and Ma's painting up a storm, and Karen's gonna play her music at the rally, and Howard's gonna speak, and I mean, it's just a joint effort. So, it's the whole community, we all need to work together because we're all stronger together. And Deborah, she's making trees and she made a dam. I mean, it's like, it's all coming together beautifully. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for all that. And Alma, even though she couldn't be here today, she still sent us the animals so we can continue to educate everyone on all the species that are on the brink of extinction if we don't get these dams breached.
Yep.
So yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you. And these pictures, someone said, so talented. Maria's like, yeah, you are, because everyone's just doing something, and to get the word out there. And these are great. So thank you. And I know Marcia is drawing up a storm, and I am definitely inspired by you guys and all you're doing.
You're breaking up.
Okay, am I back?
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's get on with it here. Let's do this. Let's do a quick little video. Some people are asking for more music, but I don't want to take all the music because then it'll kick us off of Facebook. So I'll do a brief cut of the song I think everyone's wanting to hear.
In our hearts we know what's true. Change comes from me and you. Together we will see this through. Come on, people, raise your voice. We need everyone to say, the time is now, we have no choice. Take those damn dams down, take them down. Take them down, 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 take them down. Take those damn dams down, take them down. Take them down, 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 take them down.
All right. So I was saying I don't want to play the whole thing. Sometimes when I play too much of a song, Facebook freaks out and thinks I'm trying to steal people's music. So, but you guys all know that song. We've played that many, many times. But let's get going on the 137 species that we are taking on to educate everyone about. So Alma, again, has done a wonderful job. She gets all these interesting facts about all these animals. So it's not just something you're going to see if you Google and get the first thing. She's really diving in and getting us some interesting facts. So let's get started. And I think we start with Ma. You'll have to unmute yourself. And here we go. You have the masked shrew.
Yes, I do. This cutie. So today I'm a masked shrew. They have a higher metabolic rate than any other animal. The heart of the masked shrew beats 800 times a minute, considerably faster than that of the hummingbird. Shrews must eat 80 to 90% of their own body weight in food daily. Most will starve to death if deprived of food for just half a day. They eat anything available but prefer small animals. They are agriculturally important as destroyers of insects and slugs that harm crops. Shrews are easily startled and will jump, faint, or even drop dead at a sudden noise. Oh, poor little guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Deborah, let me see. You might have to unmute yourself as well. Here we go.
Okay, friends, today I am Snowy Owl. Their feet are covered with feathers like fluffy slippers. This provides ample insulation for the cold Arctic climate. Females remain with the young while males deliver the sustenance to feed with the mother. Their wingspan is 4 to 5 feet on average. These powerful wings help them silently sneak up on or accelerate after their prey. Male snowy owls are almost completely white, while females are white with dark bars on her otherwise white plumage. The Arctic summer forces snowy owls to hunt by daylight. Unlike most owls that are nocturnal, snowy owls are diurnal.
That is awesome. All right, who is our gray fox?
I believe that's me.
That would be you.
Well, I also thought maybe we should remind everyone that these 137 species of birds and mammals and amphibians and reptiles all depend on the salmon returning upstream into the watersheds. Yeah, there we are. For instance, in the whole Snake River watershed, it's 5,500 miles, 5,500 miles of pristine wilderness areas that contain, I'm sure, all of these 137 species who live there. And they depend on those salmon being in abundance, going upstream and spawning and dying and bringing the ocean nutrients to the wilderness areas. So I just wanted to remind everyone now, where is my gray fox again? There we are. Thank you. Gray foxes are primarily nocturnal in nature and so are rarely seen by humans. Gray foxes sometimes climb up trees to avoid predators. Sometimes gray foxes take their young ones and make a den in a hollow tree way above the ground. When gray foxes try to climb down the trees, they back down and climb down the tree vertically. I can just see that. What a beautiful animal.
Gorgeous. All right, and we have our California gull.
The California gull. The California gold chicks enjoy playing with sticks. They pick up the sticks, dropping them, and then picking them up again. The California gulls favor cherries. They often beat the cherries off the trees and then eat fallen berries from the ground. These gulls possess an interesting adaptation. The second claw, located midway up their legs, help the birds to maintain their balance. That's why gulls are not being blown away by strong winds when they sit on elevated surfaces. In order to make earthworms come to the surface, gull flocks trick their prey into stamping their feet, trying to imitate rainfall. Isn't that clever? And being from Monterey, California, I have made a lot of friends with the California gull. They're very, very cute. I love them a lot.
Awesome. All right, Deb Cruz.
The wolverine. The fur on a wolverine is thick and oily and is dark in color. It is also highly hydrophobic, which means it resists frost even when they roll in it. Wolverines rely on symbiotic relationships to survive in their harsh environment. These relationships enable wolverines to obtain food, shelter, and protection from predators. Wolverines are solitary animals and often move great distances in search of food. Therefore, symbiotic relationships offer wolverines a reliable source of sustenance and shelter in their vast territories. Wolverines have a mutualistic relationship with ravens. Wolverines scavenge on the kills of predators like wolves and lynx. Ravens follow wolverines and scavenge on the remains left behind. In return, the wolverines benefit from the ravens' warning signals, which alert them to the presence of predators.
Thank you. And Erin.
Yes. All right, the snowy egret. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right, both male and female snowy egrets actively participate in parental care. They take turns incubating their eggs, ensuring that they remain at the right temperature for successful hatching. After the chicks hatch, both parents continue to provide protection, warmth, and food until the young birds are ready to fledge. Snowy egrets use a range of vocalizations to communicate with each other. These include soft croaks and squawks, which can be used for various purposes, such as maintaining contact with their mate, warning of danger, or signaling during courtship. During the breeding season, snowy egrets undergo a striking transformation in appearance. They develop beautiful plumes on their head, neck, and back, which they display during courtship rituals. These plumes are believed to play a role in attracting potential mates.
Awesome. Thank you. And then next we have the gray wolf. Gray wolves travel in packs of 4 to 7, led by alphas, the mother and father wolves that track, hunt, and choose dens for the pups or younger subordinate wolves. Wolves often mate for life. Wolf pups are born blind and deaf. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wolf pups are born blind and deaf and must be cared for until they mature at around 10 months of age. Wolves typically hunt within territories ranging from 50 to 1,000 square miles. Social creatures, gray wolves have a complex communication system that involves body language, barking, growling, dancing, howling, and scent making. Kind of makes you want to research them a little more, right? I hope people do. I hope people take this and get some more info on them. Next, we have Q as our. This is you, right, Q? All right.
So the black bear, actually, which I was just compared to 2 days ago by a nephew's girlfriend. So it's kind of interesting that I got that. They eat mostly grasses, herbs, and fruit, but will sometimes eat other things, including fish. The black bear's coat has lots of layers of shaggy fur, which keeps it warm in the cold winter months. They may be called black bears, but their coat can be blue-gray or blue-black, brown, and even sometimes white. They may not look sleek and stealthy, but they can run up to 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have Marcia.
Okay, ospreys, they're one of my favorites. We have a lot of them here. And quick little story, one day I was driving my car on a side road by a lake here and literally looked over to my left, and there was one with a fish in his mouth right at eye level, and the fish looked right at me. And I was like, whoa. Like, it was really cool to see them both look right at me. I'm like, it's not your day, fish. Okay. Ospreys are able to express different signals in a variety of ways. A study of osprey behavior revealed that they have 8 distinctive vocalizations to express feelings, including excitement, alarm, and requests for food, and 11 known physical displays to convey messages of courtship, protection, rest, and attack. Courting males perform an aerial display known as the sky dance. During the dance, the male brings food or materials for the nest while hovering, wobbling in flight, and making a screaming sound to attract a female.
And now I'm a river otter. River otters are playful social animals. Depending on their location, river otters may live alone, in pairs, or in small groups. Females live with their pups, and in some areas, males live in groups with other males. They often engage in group social behaviors like playing in the snow and wrestling with each other in the water. This behavior not only creates bonds among the animals, it also allows young otters to learn and practice skills needed for hunting and survival. Vocal animals, they communicate with sounds that include chirps, chuckles, they chuckle, whistles, and screams. And just as a side note, there was recent footage from about a week ago of some transient orcas, and I forget which ones right now, but there was actual footage of them playing around with an otter, and it may not have been that river otter's day, or it may have just been playful fun. We're not sure what happened to the otter.
Thanks, Howard. And I think it's important to, again, just reiterate, we're not just giving you education on random animals, but it's important for everybody to know, while we are all here and connected through the orcas, there's 137 species that rely on Pacific salmon. And so every week we'll continue, thanks to Alma, share with you facts of at least 10 per week. And, just, again, it's why we need to breach the dam. So, everybody out there just making a difference, continuing to make a difference. We need people, right, Christina? We want people to show up. We want people in person there, on the South Steps at the Temple for Justice, at the state capitol in Olympia on Monday, March 11th at 11 a.m. I mean, come a little earlier because, we like to be organized. But, and then reach out to Christina. If you can draw some pictures, if you are in a classroom and you want to get your classroom involved, your friends, college students who are out there, it just made me think of your background, Karen, in environmental, so, I mean, I can't imagine why people taking those classes in the college wouldn't want to show up there for something so important. So if you have contacts, you guys reach out. It's really important that we show up, like Karen's songs say, it's BS. It's time to do something. We got to keep doing something. So I hope to see most of you there. If I'm not there in person, we'll have someone there recording so that we can share on TokiTV. And Howard, thank you for continuing to be a voice and going and speaking there. And it's just so important. It's just so important. Deborah, anything you want to say about this?
I just wanted to add real quick. I have been down and out with some sort of horrible casino cootie this week, but I did have some friends come visit and got about 100 salmon working to start the river. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
These are Marcia's salmon, so they're going to be somehow in the river. So the salmon are there. So the salmon will at least be seen.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb. Good job. That's great. That's what we need. We also need other people that would like to make some like cardboard cutouts of the animals, any of the 137 animals that are on the list that's in the event. So
exactly. I have 35 feet of river getting ready to be put together. So that's 35 feet needing artwork, folks. Big, small.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, Christina, what else? I mean, there's a GoFundMe, you guys, so for the printing and to share this and this group, I mean, that anything raised is going to go to, I'm sure, we're all putting in money. So spread the word. You never know. If you share the GoFundMe, which I'll do there is a separate post, but I'll highlight that. You never know, if you share that to your page, you saw what happened with John Carlos Frey's, fund me for that movie. I mean, it takes one person to see it, be inspired, and be able to donate to make this kind of stuff happen. We got to keep going. Got to keep going. Karen, thank you for using your voice and everything you do. Anything you'd like to say before we kind of close out the day?
Well, I think one of the things that I've learned from this is that we all have a voice. and our voice matters. I think it's easy to say, oh, my voice doesn't make any difference. I'm just one person. But that's said by 8 billion people. If we really use our voices, we become a collective that's really strong. And the other thing is that our politicians, they are hired to do our bidding. We are the client, and we tell them what we want them to do. And we have to let them know that. If they feel like we have their back and enough people are telling them that we want this done, then they'll do that because they want to save their job. They want to please their constituents. So you've got to make your voice heard. They can't read your mind. Call them, email them, text them regularly. Let them know what you want.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't want to skip over because I know some people are messaging me like, aren't you guys going to talk about this aquarium? Here's what I will say. Yes, we've all seen on social media, there's this, the stuff going on between, the mayor and all this stuff. I don't know. The only thing that I know is what's going on social media. So there was some assumption that they were going to be shut down and the lease revoked. Now maybe not. And then the owner of the dolphin company coming out on Twitter saying Miami Aquarium will continue on for many, many years. So I don't have any specifics, guys, just what we're seeing in social media. Pray for the animals, please. Just pray for the animals that are there. They deserve better. All animals who are in captivity deserve better. So we'll keep praying for them. I didn't want to pass over it, but I don't have any information that I can, share that's of anything that you're not already seeing on social media. Alejandro, anything you want to say before we close? You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Karen, for using your voice. No more BS. I hope they breach the dam soon. They need it. The orcas need it. The environment needs it. The animals need it. So thank you so much for everything you have done.
Appreciate it. Howard, any final words you want to share?
Oh, no, I'm just thrilled with everything that's been said today. I think this is a wonderful episode of TokiTV, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Q, for coming on and telling us about black bears.
Marcia and Q, we totally love you guys. Anything you want to say before we close out?
There we go. Now we're in.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karen. Love the music. The No More BS is like brilliant. I love it very much. I do want to throw in, I read recently that NOAA's allowing a huge amount of Chinook bycatch in Alaskan waters. I think that's BS. If you can write a song about that, go for it, woman. I don't know why they would allow such a thing, and it's just so upsetting.
Well, we all know why.
Well, I think there's a public comment period out right now for that. So again, we need to raise our voices. Yeah,
that's a huge issue. Thank you, Marcia.
I got a link about it. I'll try to send it to all of you.
28,000 discarded Chinook.
No, it's a criminal.
Ridiculous.
That's a crime against the planet, and they should be absolutely reprimanded and stopped for that. I have nightmares about it. But thank you for everything everyone does. I love your faces so much. Wait,
I'd like to add one more thing. Karen, if your husband wants to contact me about being even more diabolical, perhaps we can figure out a way to light up the skies and have it like a bat signal or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing happen. My mind is turning.
It's good. That's what we do, right? That's what inspiration is. You get other people thinking,
that's right,
moving, and like spark little things that we might not have thought of. If you write a song, we can all be your backup singers. I don't know if we would song or not, but we'd all be willing to join in. Alejandro's a great singer, by the way, and I'm not joking when I say that. He really is a great singer. So maybe some collaboration going on. Ma, any final words?
Oh, yeah, everything that everybody said. But thanks, Karen, because every word that you spoke was as if I was speaking. So thank you for all your hard work. You know, you've got my support 100%, and also thanks to Christina and the big push for trying to get this event going. And we really do need to tell the politicians that we're not going to go away. The way that announcement was made, it did seem that they were going to breach the dam straight away. And then, of course, when you read through it, then you realise, 8 to 10 years is just totally unacceptable. Those animals, those whales, they can't wait any longer with what we've already done to them. So this is why it's so important to use our voices. And for the last 2 weeks, I've had no voice with laryngitis. And I really thought, imagine what those animals, those souls must be thinking to themselves. Why don't we learn? Why don't we speak up for them? And it really brought the message home to me that, we've got to scream and shout, and we've got to be loud. So please keep sending all your artwork in, and all the letters, phone calls, emails, texts, anything that you can do. Really, really push like mad, because they need to know that we are the ones that employ them. And those orca, Toki's family can't be allowed to be extinct. So thanks. Sorry for rambling.
It's not rambling. It's also important. The bycatch, the salmon bycatch, the orcas who are being caught in the bycatch, the animals in captivity, the dams. I mean, there's so much, you guys. So keep, let that fuel you. There's a lot. There's a lot. And you guys are all powerful, amazing beings with your own unique individual talents. Keep using them. Keep using them. Karen, we're going to close out with a different song about tearing dams, but this is Tear Those Damn Dams Down. And this is by Right as Rain, Seattle band, and they will be there performing their music on March 11th. So we're going to close out, you guys. Thank you very much. This was a great TokiTV. We'll see you guys next week.
We put dams in their way, build ladders they can't climb, so salmon can't get home. They're running out of time. So the one thing we should do to keep them swimming free is just tear those damn dams down. Oh, tear those damn dams down. Let them go. We'll take a wrecking ball to that nasty wall that's causing so much trouble. For all that time and money, no salmon do we see. So tear those damn dams down and set the river free. They say they're carbon neutral, they say they're clean and green, but nothing's eco-friendly about those killing machines. Damming up the rivers brings nature to its knees. Let's just tear those damn dams down. Oh, tear those damn dams down. Let them go. We'll take a wrecking ball to that nasty wall that's causing so much trouble. For all that time and money, no salmon do we see. So tear those damn dams down and set the river free. Tear those damn dams down. Let them go to run. much trouble. For all that time and money, no salmon do we see. So tear those damn dams down and set the river free. So tear those damn dams down and set the river